marketing plan empowers you to change your life and to change the lives of others.
The company's bulletproof.
These products really sell themselves.
Nu Skin is riding the leading edge of a revolution.
But you can't make a fortune until you make a commitment.
Hi, I'm Nathan Rex.
And I'm Scott Tillotson.
My name is Richmond Flowers.
We'd like to share with you an opportunity. If it makes sense to you, and if it's coming to you at the right time, it could truly change your life. I know you've heard that before, but I'm speaking from experience. I opened myself up to it about 18 months ago, and it changed the whole direction of my life.
And you can call it my opinion or just plain fact. I don't believe there is anything else you could choose to do right now, today, that will produce the kind of long-term financial security and peace of mind that we're talking about. Our role is not to really convince you that what you need to do is Nu Skin. We make a practice of not dragging anyone across the goal line in a headlock. Everyone has to decide for himself. We will present you with the information the way we see it, and if you see what we see, and if you can get excited about it, that's great. We'll show you how to do what we've accomplished.
As you listen to what we have to share, remember, you can participate in Nu Skin without leaving what you're currently doing, and it can become a new foundation for your future. It'll take some hard work, but nothing worthwhile comes easy.
And it's an opportunity that you can shape and control. Do it part-time or full-time, as a supplement to your income or as a vehicle to generate the kind of income that will actually give you control of your life. As we talk about the Nu Skin opportunity, we have to mention the convergence of two fascinating phenomena: network marketing and the information age that is upon us. Network marketing may have started off a little flaky back in the 50s and 60s, but it's growing up. It's a legitimate sector of our economy, and it's growing like crazy. Billions of dollars of products are being moved through this kind of marketing, and there's going to be more and more products moved through network marketing in the decades ahead. Here's a quote from Richard Poe, the senior editor at Success Magazine. "Network marketing, the most powerful way to reach consumers in the 90s. The most powerful way? Why is that statement true? One reason is that finally the information age infrastructure is in place to make this whole industry really cook. For 30 years, network marketing has been latent, waiting to happen. Years ago, people had to turn their garages into mini warehouses, tackle boondoggles of paperwork, but that's all ancient history by today's standards. Today, we have the technology to streamline the whole process, do the paperwork, track the orders, make the whole process very painless. 10 years ago, we didn't have VCRs in every home, so you couldn't even be watching a tape like this. We didn't have portable cellular telephones, fax machines, three-way conference calling from your home, worldwide voicemail, and all these services that are now available. So the information age and network marketing are hand in hand, growing and expanding together.
One more thing is certain. As more ways to communicate are put into place, you're going to get approached by more and more network marketing companies wanting you to get involved with them. And there's no doubt that network marketing may be the only opportunity that many of us normal people have to achieve real prosperity and financial peace of mind. So the question becomes, how do I evaluate these opportunities? Which network marketing company is going to really boom? And how can I check it all out?
My family has been involved in network marketing for the last decade, and we've been fortunate in having some huge successes that have earned us millions of dollars. And because of that, we've been solicited and approached by just about everybody. We've become very critical, and I believe we've become very wise at investigating and evaluating network marketing companies. And it comes down to 5 very important points. On a scale of 1 to 10, you've got to have 10 in every area, or you've got the wrong company. The 5 points are: first, the company; second, product; third, trends and timing; fourth, the marketing plan; and fifth, leverage. Let's quickly look at each of these ingredients for success.
Growing up, it was drummed into me that you could excel. No, that you should excel, but that you have to do your homework. I picked a college carefully and went to the Wharton School of Business, University of Pennsylvania. I picked my corporate life carefully and spent 10 years with IBM. I did my homework and investigated Nu Skin with a fine-tooth comb. It's a young company with a rich history of success. When you've been in business for 6½ years, like Nu Skin, you leave a trail, and that trail's full of markers, and those markers can be checked. and you can do all kinds of homework on Nu Skin. I did. You should. The company's bulletproof.
In the last 3 years, Nu Skin's growth has exceeded the average of the top 100 public growth companies in America. They're laying a solid foundation for future worldwide growth. Nu Skin has been in business since 1984. It's passed the acid test. How healthy is the company today? It enjoys top credit ratings. It's created a corporate culture that's fiscally conservative with virtually no long-term debt. Its payment record is excellent, and it features a young, aggressive management team totally committed to a long-term presence in the international marketplace. In 10 years, Nu Skin intends to be one of the largest, most successful network marketing companies in history.
I'm an executive with Nu Skin because of the products. I've tried loads of other more expensive things, skin creams, moisturizers, sunblocks, you name it. Nothing was ever exactly what I wanted. Nothing even came close, until Nu Skin. And now what can I say? I'm a believer. These products really sell themselves. With this company and these products, I've built an incredible business for myself. It's still hard to believe the kind of position I'll be in financially by the time I'm 30.
No matter how you analyze it, products move the business. Long-term success in network marketing comes only if you've got products that move people. Products that have 3 characteristics. They should be visual, emotional, and consumable. Nu Skin products deliver a visual difference in the way people look. They get very excited. It impacts them emotionally. It changes the way they feel about themselves. And if the products are visual and emotional, and most important, highly consumable, then you really have a business that can deliver a permanent recurring income stream. Now think for a minute. If you're making your money based on how many units of sales you do, would you rather be involved with water filters, travel memberships, 3D cameras, things that people buy once every decade? Or would you rather be distributing skincare products, shampoos, sunscreens, and vitamins, things that people use every day? The answer's obvious. There's a very clear philosophy to what Nu Skin manufactures and sells. Every product contains all of the good, none of the bad. The first category we're in is the hair care market. Nu Skin sells a product called Nutriol that they negotiated exclusive rights for in 1986. The first version of the product has been sold for 9 years now in Europe, with increasing sales every year. In fact, in France alone in 1988, it sold over 50 million, a blockbuster. If Nutriol was all we had, we'd be very successful. The second explosive category we're in is weight loss and nutrition. This is a $25 to $30 billion market. Nu Skin offers a new generation of products for nutrition and weight loss. Why are these products so successful? Because beauty's not just skin deep. You have to feed and nourish your body to maximize the way it works and the way it looks. Every Nu Skin product in this category has an ingredient list that includes just what your body needs, high in fiber, low in fat. Appeal alone includes ingredients covered by 35 international patents. These products work from the inside out, hence the name interior design. The third category is even more exciting. It's a $23 billion age-controlling skincare industry. This industry is huge, and it's characterized by a congestion of cosmetic counters in the opening of every department store in the country. Everybody's seen them, all the major brands with all the fancy promotion and hype. They clog the openings to all the stores. Don't you think Calvin Klein would love to sell his blue jeans right there where all the highest consumer traffic is bunched? But he can't, because he doesn't have 3,000% average markup on his products. It's astounding, isn't it? These companies spend 25 cents on ingredients and $25 on promotion and hype. They take 1 or 2 good ingredients they can hype and fill the rest of the jar with inexpensive fillers, wax and petroleum byproducts. It's called the plastic bag approach. Seal that moisture in and don't let it escape. These products clog your pores and constipate your skin. Basically, your skin can't breathe. Now, you don't have to be a dermatologist to know that's about the worst thing you can do to your skin. No one disputes the fact our bodies are 2/3 water. What your skin craves most is moisture, not oil, not wax. Nu Skin has a different approach. Nu Skin spends more money on ingredients than anyone in the industry. Very simply, Nu Skin products assist the skin in functioning the way it was meant to function naturally. Our products hydrate the skin with moisture and nourish it with nutrients. As we get older, for some cruel reason known only to Mother Nature, our skin produces less humectants. Now, you may not have heard of humectants, but your skin has. They're the body's own natural moisturizer. Humectants act like magnets, drawing moisture from the air to keep your skin soft. But once you get to 30, 35, your body doesn't make them like it used to. Nu Skin's philosophy is to take those humectants, which are not cheap, put them in skincare products, reapply them topically, and basically fool Mother Nature. Nu Skin pursued its product development knowing skincare is no longer just a cosmetic issue. It's about total health care for men and women. All we ask is this: try the products yourself. Let your friends try them. I think when you do, you'll be hooked. The products themselves are all the advertising Nu Skin needs. These three categories total about $100 billion market. So if we get 2 to 3% market share, we'll have built a phenomenal success.
I know what it's worth to be in the right place at the right time. You see, in 1977, I became a franchise and sub-franchise salesman for a company called Diet Center, which specialized in weight loss and control. Over the course of the next 5 years, that company went from small to big, and those of us who were there, in the right place at the right time, did extremely well. In fact, in 1 month alone, in 1977, as a 20-year-old young man, I earned in excess of $40,000. Had I met you then, you may have asked, Randy, what's going on? You're 20 years old, you live in rural Idaho, and yet you're earning an enormous amount of money. I might have suggested to you, and would actually have believed it, that it was happening because I was really good. Well, of course, that's not true. As we look back now, I can recognize that's because I was in the right place at the right time. I experienced that again in the mid-'80s as I became a stockbroker, ultimately becoming employed by Drexel Burnham Lambert. And as that company went from small to big, as it became the dominant force in investment banking worldwide, those of us who positioned ourselves and worked hard earned fairy tale incomes. That's exactly where we are today with Nu Skin. This company's going from small to big with or without me, and with or without you. I'd suggest that you take a very serious look.
Nu Skin is riding the leading edge of a revolution. The largest, strongest demographic trend of this century has changed the face of North American business and culture. It's called the baby boomers. You see, the boomers were born between 1946 and 1964, and they represent fully 1/3 of the entire North American population. So that's 90 million consumers moving between the ages of 26 and 44. They represent $980 billion of purchasing power, and they're having an explosive impact on every market that they touch. One of the most successful books ever written on this phenomenon is called The Age Wave by Ken Dykewall, a PhD educator and demographer. And he states in his book, the boomers are the youth generation. They love their youth. They will do everything possible to take it with them into their old age. In the years to come, entire industries will rise and fall in response to this anti-aging, pro-longevity obsession.
And he further states, perhaps one of the greatest corporate success stories driven by the age wave has been the phenomenal growth of the Nu Skin company.
The boomers have been the most consumption-oriented segment of our society for decades. And I'm here to tell you that 4 years ago, something very significant happened to the boomers. 4 years ago, the leading edge of the boomers turned 40. They're starting to wrinkle and age, to get a little thin on the top and a little thick around the middle. And they're not pleased. Believe me, I know. I'm one of them. The boomers are literally spending billions of dollars to stay young. They're buying Retin-A, organically grown food, health club memberships, workout tapes, exercise equipment, cosmetic surgery, and all other kinds of personal care products that help them stay healthier and younger longer. Every product that Nu Skin manufactures not only satisfies the real needs of this huge trend-setting segment of the market, but also the needs of their parents. And here's the irony. While the boomers have been spending, their parents have been saving. They went through the Depression. They had savings accounts. They paid off their homes. And as a result, they're about to pass the largest sum of money in history to the most consumption-oriented segment in history. The boomers will inherit $1 trillion over the next 2 decades. And what are the boomers going to do when they get it? Shop till they drop, just like they've done in the past. They're going to spend it on products that help them age gracefully. Remember, we're the youth generation. And what do the boomers really want? They want youth, attractiveness, good health, opportunity, and integrity. In other words, they want Nu Skin. They don't know it yet, but that's what they want, and we're going to give it to them. I don't know of another company so perfectly positioned in front of this mass of humanity, so perfectly positioned to take advantage of the biggest, strongest demographic trend ever, the age wave. See, that's the mega trend that's pushing Nu Skin to the top of the mountain. These kinds of powerful trends create impeccable timing. Nu Skin has spent 5 years laying the foundation for their success.
Here are the stages the company went through. 5 years of pioneering. See how flat the sales growth is when you're starting? Then Nu Skin hit critical mass. When a company reaches 50 million in annual sales, it moves into momentum. When companies hit momentum, they go from small to big. Their products go from obscure to popular. The numbers multiply at an astounding rate. What does this mean to you as you consider a network marketing company? If you get in early, it's just too risky. Most don't make it. Pioneering's too hard. Here, it's just right. And that's where we are. Fact is, last year, Nu Skin experienced exponential growth. The writing's on the wall. If you're involved in a company as it experiences momentum, you can profit from a growth cycle driven by forces larger than your own efforts. And the truth of it is, Nu Skin is going to flourish whether you do it or not. It'll flourish whether I continue or not. Eventually, every person you know is going to hear about Nu Skin. And they can hear about it from someone else, or they can hear about it from you.
The Nu Skin marketing plan empowers you to change your life and to change the lives of others. When I started with Nu Skin, I was a teacher and department chair at a community college, and I could only work Nu Skin 2 hours a day. After just 3 years in Nu Skin, I'm earning many times what I did in 29 years as a teacher. And you know what? Participating in Nu Skin didn't dominate my whole life. In fact, in 1990, I was fortunate enough to be voted Business Teacher of the Year and listed in Who's Who of American Women while still using the Nu Skin marketing plan to earn a small fortune.
Nu Skin pays back to its distributors in commissions 54% of every wholesale dollar it takes in. Now let me say that again. The company pays back 54% in commissions and bonus checks. Now, anybody listening to this tape who's a business person is going to say, wait a minute, how can the company do that? How can the company survive and prosper keeping only 46% to manufacture the product, pay the home office staff, and run the computer and distribution systems? And that's a good question.
And here's a great answer. Remember those 3,000% average markups on those other products? 3,000% from ingredient cost to retail price? All that hype and promotion? Well, it's good news for Nu Skin, because it opens up this huge niche that we capitalize on.
It allows us to make the most expensive product to manufacture in the world today and sell that product for less than the competition, fund the most generous compensation plan in the history of the industry, and still the company makes money and is healthy. Personal care items are absolutely perfect for network marketing.
In terms of compensation, let's compare a traditional corporation to Nu Skin. Estee Lauder, for example, will do $2.5 billion in sales this year. That's about 10 times the size of Nu Skin. And you know how many people in that company, from the president on down, make over $1 million a year? Exactly one. The president. She makes $1.3 million in salary and bonus. That was published in Savvy magazine. You know how many people in Nu Skin make that kind of money? About 25. Now, of course, most people in Nu Skin don't earn those kinds of incomes. But the fact is, in Nu Skin, there are 25 times the people earning those CEO-type paychecks on 1/10 the sales.
You know what that says to me? I don't care who you are or what kind of opportunities you think are out there, there's nothing that you can do for the next couple of years that has the potential to compensate you for the rest of your life the way Nu Skin will. One of the most exceptional features of the Nu Skin marketing plan is that it pays 5% 6 levels deep on breakaway leaders and their entire groups. Now, I know that sounds like Greek to you, but the history is that most companies have only paid 3. Nu Skin gives you 6. Why is this important? Because there's more money on the 5th level by itself than on the first 4 combined. And there's still more on the 6th level alone than the first 5 put together. People like you and me have never had a chance in the entire history of network marketing to position ourselves within a company that will do mega volume around the globe and get paid 6 levels on all that volume.
We've done less than 10% of what Nu Skin potentially can do in worldwide sales over the next 5 years. This is an unprecedented global opportunity. When we do $2 billion someday, Nu Skin will pay over $1 billion in commissions back to the distributors, just like you and me. Now is the time to position.
20 years ago, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to be involved in an up-and-coming company, McDonald's. As an owner for the last 20 years, I have been tied to the day-to-day grind of traditional restaurant business. Taxes, payrolls, loan payments, scheduling. I didn't realize I had no time freedom to spend with my family or friends. Having been involved in franchising, I immediately recognized the tremendous leverage available to me in Nu Skin, minus the risk. That was then, and this is now. In my opinion, network marketing is the franchising of the 90s, and Nu Skin is the McDonald's of network marketing.
The fifth key to success might be the most important: leverage. It's the key to creating wealth in our society. Just think about what happens to most of us. After a good education and a good career choice, you find yourself saying, I'm working 50, 60 hours a week, Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. The company's making millions, but I'm still not flush, and there's always more month left at the end of my money. Currently in our country, corporations are laying off 30,000 hardworking people a month. And now for the second year in a row, inflation is rising faster than wages. You can't even live the same lifestyle on 2 incomes that your parents did on 1. Somehow, you know, it doesn't make sense to be trading a big block of time a year for a teeny block of money, a salary. Because all that does is pay the bills and give you the right to show up next January 1st and do it all over again. You will never know financial security while you're trading time for money. Until you break that equation, you can't create wealth. The difference between a wage, even a good wage, and wealth is called permanent income. What is permanent income? Permanent income takes none of your personal effort to generate. It's separate from anything you do to make it happen. What would that be? How about $2 million cash in the bank that creates interest whether you get out of bed or not? That's permanent income. And most of us, I think, would love to have enough, save enough, invest brilliantly enough so that we could live well the rest of our lives off the bounty of our portfolio. Then we'd have some security. Then we wouldn't have to go out there every Monday and convince the whole world we're good all over again. Be nice, wouldn't it? But most people never achieve it. Most people don't even come close. Why? Because everybody's down here earning a different kind of income. It's called temporary income. Temporary income can stop at any time. In contrast to permanent income, temporary income requires your total involvement every second to make it happen. If you don't show up and put your nose on the grindstone, you may not get paid. And that whole problem of temporary income is characterized by trading time for dollars. Perhaps it's most cruel for professionals, doctors, lawyers, CPAs, who spend years obtaining their professional degrees only to realize they've educated themselves into zero leverage. Why? Because their personal professional expertise is what they completely depend on to make their living. It all depends on them. The problem is you don't have enough hours in your day to exchange for dollars and make that exchange enough times to create wealth. It can't be done, as long as it all depends on you. What's the solution? The solution is leverage. The first year, we personally sponsored 32 people in Nu Skin. 13 of those 32 got serious, and those 13 have led to over 10,000 people in all 50 states and in all 10 provinces of Canada. Theoretically, I'm getting paid on 240,000 hours a day, not just my own 24. Could any person work hard enough to put in 240,000 hours a day? Obviously not. And even if you could, surprise, surprise, it's not about hard work, as evidenced by the fact that the world is full of broke people who worked hard their whole lives. And what do they have to show for it? In many cases, nothing. It's about having the right leveraged vehicle, and then you can create your own wealth by duplicating your efforts through others. Nu Skin is that right vehicle. In Nu Skin, you can work really hard one time for a couple of years and start to create a permanent income stream for life. And there's nothing like it.
For 14 years, I was a lawyer, practicing securities law. Just recently, I decided to give that up and spend my full time building a Nu Skin business. All of a sudden, my life is fun again, the stress is gone, I'm having a great time. And for once, I can enjoy listening to lawyer jokes. But seriously, there is an important point to understand about Nu Skin. If this were a public company, and it's not, you couldn't buy enough stock to make the kind of money that you can make by investing your time and your energy in developing your own Nu Skin business.
There's no doubt about where Nu Skin is going. The growth curve is headed to outer space. We've got liftoff. Commission checks are getting phenomenal. The company is booming. You can either work a job and make a living, or you can plug in a new skin and make a fortune. But you can't make a fortune until you make a commitment.
And wouldn't it be worth it to spend less time with yesterday's newspaper and watching Bonanza reruns and channel those unproductive hours into controlling your own financial destiny? You can do it if you want to.
There's no doubt about that. If we can do this, you can too. As far as I'm concerned, I believe this is the finest opportunity that you have seen thus far in your life. And it just depends on what you do with it. Because never before has there been a time-tested company going into momentum with the right kinds of products driven by the most powerful demographic trend ever, paying 6 levels deep. All this stacks up to an opportunity you can't afford to miss. All you have to do is realize what this is all about. If you make the commitment and set it in motion, it'll take off and you'll catch the wave. Thanks for listening. We invite you to join us.